Graduates, please be seated. Good afternoon. Welcome to the class of 2022 commencement ceremony. My name is Bill Wingler, and I am the principal of Strongsville High School. I join you today as both the principal of Strongsville High School and as a fellow parent of a graduate. Today we share in the celebration of the journey that our children have shared that is now culminating in the achievement of one of their life milestones. Joining us this afternoon are very proud parents, guardians, grandparents, and other family members. Seated with our graduates are dedicated educators, including teachers, guidance counselors, monitors, aides, and various other staff members. Present is our assistant principals, Mrs. Susan Harb, Mr. Eric Castle, and Mr. Sean Collins. Those who are seated up here have supported student achievement and are immensely proud of the class of 2022 and the difficult road they have traveled to get to this day. In addition, I am very pleased to introduce the dignitaries seated on this stage. Our superintendent, Dr. Cameron Ryba, and our assistant superintendent, Mrs. Jenny Pelko. Our Board of Education members, President, Mr. Richard Micko, Vice President, Mrs. Laura Wolf-Howsam, Mrs. Michelle Bissell, Mrs. Sharon Kilbane, and Ms. Haley Stovchik. Also, our senior class advisor, Mrs. Jen Orlowski. I would also like to take a second to acknowledge the following for their contributions to this graduating class. The Strongsville Police Department. To make today be special, Mr. Scott Benson, who runs all of the live streaming in the district. I would like to also thank our senior singers in advance for the national anthem and the alma mater. I would like to give a special thank you to our enlisted students or our students who are planning to enlist in the armed services. Your class quote is "The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step" by Lao Tzu. This is an appropriate quote for this class to live by, as they certainly have left their mark on Strongsville High School. At the high school, our motto is excellence in academics, the arts, and athletics. Parents and guardians, our school board, and to the Strongsville community, I'd like to fill you in on just what the class of 2022 has been up to this year to exhibit excellence in these areas. Would the members of the following groups please stand and be recognized when I call your name or your group? Any senior receiving an honors diploma, please stand. Thank you. Any student with perfect attendance for all 13 years of school, please stand. Thank you. Would members of the National Honor Society, the Polaris Career Honor Society, Mu Alpha Theta, Rho Kappa, the Art National Honor Society, and the Spanish Honor Society please stand? Thank you. Students receiving recognition as National Merit Semifinalist, please stand. Commended National Merit Finalist and National Merit winners, please stand. Thank you. Any member of DECA that qualified for state competition, please stand. Thank you. Those members of DECA that qualified for the national competition in Atlanta, please stand. Thank you. Any member that qualified for the mock teen trial, please stand. If a student received an associate degree or double degree from participation in our College Credit Plus program, please rise. Thank you. Would members of our regional qualifying girls soccer team please stand? Thank you. Member of our district qualifying boys soccer team, please stand. Thank you. Members of our district qualifying girls basketball team, please stand. Thank you. Members of our state qualifying swimming and diving teams, please stand. Members of our regional and state qualifying boys cross-country team, please stand. Thank you. Member of our regional and state qualifying girls cross-country team, please stand. Members of our district qualifying gymnastics team, please stand. Thank you. Member of our district qualifying boys golf team, please stand. Thank you. Members of our district and state qualifying wrestling team, please stand. Member of our district and now Sweet 16 baseball team, please stand. Thank you. Members of our regional qualifying girls lacrosse team, please stand. Thank you. Members of our district qualifying softball team, please stand. Thank you. Members of our regional qualifying boys track team, please stand. Thank you. Member of our regional qualifying girls track team, please stand. Thank you. Members of our state qualifying dance team, please stand. Any individual receiving recognition of an all-district, all-state, or all-American honor, please stand. Thank you. Members of our choir, band, or orchestra which received a ranking of excellent or superior at state competition, please stand. Thank you. Any individual earning a scholarship in the arts, either locally or through a university, please stand. Thank you. Would the members of our student council please stand? Thank you. Would the members of our Key Club please stand? Thank you. So, as you can see, the achievements of our students is something that we as a community should be very proud of. These young men and women in front of you today have been busy leaving their mark on this high school, our community, and now the world. As you move on to the next chapter in your life, don't forget the lessons you have been taught by your parents, teachers, coaches, advisors, and the other role models in your life. These lessons will serve you well and ensure you continue to leave your unique mark on the world. Congratulations to the class of 2022. It has truly been my honor to be your principal. Will the members of the SHS Choir please join me on stage? Gentlemen, you want to go in the center? Yeah, we're going to go. At this time, if you are able, please rise for the presentation of colors, courtesy of the Strongsville Police Department Color Guard. Singing the national anthem and alma mater are our senior members of the Strongsville High School Choir. Please remove your caps and please rise for both songs.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Hail to thee, Strongsville, home of light and truth. Hail, alma mater, leader of our youth. Loud in thy praises we shall ever be to thee. Hail, dear old Strongsville High.
Thank you, Strongsville Choir. Outstanding job. At this time, I would like to introduce you to our Student Council President, Elizabeth Majka.
Fellow graduates, today is the day we've been waiting for since the very first moment we stepped foot into Strongsville High School. 4 years of staying up late to study, waking up early to make class on time, rehearsing for your upcoming concert, or practicing for the big game. And today, we get to celebrate knowing that our hard work has paid off. As I began to look back upon the journey of the class of 2022, I came to a realization. Despite us having different classes or teachers in our schedules, all 532 of us learned one common skill: the ability to take on change. In fact, we've had a lot of experiences dealing with change. We adapted as we became the first students to attend Strongsville Middle School and ended the divide between Albion and Center. We learned to appreciate each of the 3 principals we had in our 4 years of high school. We had to switch from in-person classes to online, then half online, half in person, and then we had to relearn how to be in class every day without the ability to just turn our cameras off. We changed our morning routines to allow ourselves enough time to find parking as more and more juniors began getting senior lot passes. And when school computers began blocking every fun website, we mastered the game of Snake. And we did all these things together, proving that when we are faced with change, we know how to learn and grow. I mean, I'm sure like myself, most of you lost a lot of sleep over the first day of high school. Being a little freshman with our printed schedules in hand and locker combinations still memorized, who would have thought then that we'd be such a successful group now? More than 30 of us will continue athletics in college. 11 senior DECA members qualified for nationals. All music groups received the top score at states. 4 of us were national merit semifinalists. Boys and girls swimming and diving swept the conference all 4 years. Marching band and symphony orchestra performed at Disney World last month. We hosted and participated in multiple unified sports events. Girls soccer won a state championship. Several of us completed training programs at Polaris Career Center, and 97 of us are graduating with honors. I could list all the accomplishments that we've achieved forever, but I hope even those few examples remind you all of how successful you were in your high school years. And while we did build an amazing resume as a class here, completing senior year means we have to start all over again someplace else. And I know in the midst of it all, the end of high school can be scary. There's no denying that behind today's joyous celebration is the reality that we have new journeys to face. However, all the feelings that come with the end of high school are far from unfamiliar to us. This past year especially, we've been challenged to face some of the toughest emotions that change can bring to our lives. The weight of having to make stressful decisions that will determine our next chapters, the fear of leaving behind everything familiar, and the heartbreak of losing important loved ones in our community. But despite how hard change can be and how much of we've had to face, we're all here today about to walk across the stage. And that's all that graduating is. It's another phase of change we're going through. So when people ask if you're ready, be confident in saying yes. Okay, let's practice one time. When I point to you guys, say yeah. Hey seniors! Hey seniors! Are you ready? Ready to graduate? I'm kidding. We're not gonna do the wiggle-o at commencement, but I'm glad you're feeling ready. And just like the wiggle-o, there will be highs and there will be lows. I can't promise that receiving this diploma will get rid of all the scary changes to come. But there's even a saying that goes, change is the only constant in life. There will be days that seem too challenging or make you question yourself completely, especially as we venture into new territory. In the movie The Martian, the main character, Mark Watney, gives a quote that's become a favorite between me and my mom. He says, "At some point, everything's gonna go south on you, and you're gonna say, this is it. This is how I end. Now you can either accept that, or you can get to work. That's all it is. You just begin." So, class of 2022, we've been presented with a choice. We can either spend our time fearful of the future, or we can choose to begin. While I can't tell you it'll be easy, I can assure you that we have what it takes to walk away from graduation with certainty that we're ready to face whatever change is thrown at us. So let's exchange our feelings of apprehension for appreciation that our teachers, staff, administration, and everyone around you today has taught you in a mere 4 years how to handle so much change. Thanks to them and the entire experience of being a Strongsville Mustang, we are prepared. Today, let's choose to begin.
At this time, I would like to invite Kristen Johnson to join me at the podium. Kristen is this year's Phi Beta Kappa recipient. Kristen has been nominated by our staff as being the single student most worthy of recognition for outstanding scholarship, academic initiative, and total achievement. The Phi Beta Kappa recipient represents the collective judgment of our professional teaching staff as the most scholarly of our senior students. As part of this recognition, Kristen has been asked to address the class of 2022.
Dear class of 2022, congratulations. You have made it through 4 years of high school. Today, you will be awarded a diploma for all your efforts. Receiving a diploma signifies that you have learned a number of concepts taught to you over these past 4 years. You've learned to do algebra, to write an essay, how our government is structured, and more. You have acquired so much knowledge over these past 4 years, but I would like to note that your journey in learning is not over. Rather, I hope you continue to learn after high school and for the rest of your life. Before continuing, I think it's important to define what exactly I mean by learning. Well, according to Google, my favorite source, learning is defined as the acquisition of knowledge and skills through experience, study, or being taught. Knowledge and skills. Let's talk about those two words, shall we? For many people, the word knowledge brings to mind information acquired from a formal academic means, like reading a textbook or listening to a teacher in a class. But in reality, knowledge is a lot more expansive than that. Knowledge is any information that you've acquired from life in any aspect or setting. For example, you may observe after many weeks of driving to school that there is a high volume of traffic on Pearl Road. That perhaps could be avoided by taking Prospect instead. Or you may learn about the current standings of a political issue from reading the news. Or you may have your eyes opened by listening to someone very different from you talk about their perspective and experience. All of that information I mentioned is knowledge that is perhaps just as, if not more, valuable than the algebra you learned in high school. Similarly, there are countless skills that you can acquire simply from daily life that will be valuable to have. For example, we are all united as U.S. citizens in our beloved duty of paying taxes. My mother works in taxes, so trust me when I know how valuable it is to possess that skill. Additionally, you'll acquire many skills if you eventually rent an apartment or own a home. How to pay bills, fix a broken sink, all that fun stuff. In the next 10 years of your lives, you'll acquire so many important skills due to your newfound independence, your parents will probably hardly recognize you by the end of it. The point is, the acquiring of all that knowledge and skills, all of that is learning. Everything that you experience in your daily life is something that you can take a lesson from. If you keep that in mind, you will learn so incredibly much of value as you go through life. At this point, you may be wondering, why should I care? Why should I continue learning after high school? And the answer to that question is this. Anything that you learn does benefit you, whether that be in a big or small way. I'll return to a few previous examples. If you observe that driving a new path to school or work allows you to get there 5 minutes quicker each morning, then that means you get 5 minutes of extra sleep every single morning. I consider that a big benefit, personally. Additionally, by educating yourself on how to properly file your taxes and the consequences of not doing so, which I would like to know can include up to $100,000 in fines, 5 years in prison, and the cost of prosecution. They don't joke around with that stuff. You ensure you are going to properly file your taxes every single year. Now that's a reason to care, because if you don't learn now, you will learn the hard way later. But I'm getting away from myself. The point is, through learning, in the many forms that may take, you can only benefit yourself and improve your quality of life. So please, never stop learning. At this point, I hope you have learned something that will benefit you now and in your future endeavors, whatever that may be. Thank you, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Kristen. At this time, we're going to do the presentation of the top 5% of our class. Being presented with gold tassels today are students who are our top scholars for the class of 2022. These students have earned the academic right to represent the top 5% of the graduating class. Members of the top 5%, when I call your name, please come to the center stage where our superintendent, Dr. Ryba, will present you with your honor cord. I would also ask when I call the student's name that their parent or guardian stands as well. Annabelle Abdallah, attending The Ohio State University. Emily Adnich, attending The Ohio State University. Kate Carey, attending University of Cincinnati. Lauren Dunlop, attending Case Western Reserve. Laura Fogwell, attending Ohio University. Philip Goldberg, attending Purdue University. Jacob Huber, attending Grove City College. Jocelyn Huber, attending Grove City College. Kristen Johnson, attending University of Michigan. Henry Joniak, attending Denison University. Zachary Kakos, attending Notre Dame College. Alexander Klaben, attending the University of Rochester. Meredith Cleansing, attending Denison University. Anya Krishnan, attending The Ohio State University. Faith Lee, attending the University of Michigan. Taylor Lucas, attending Cleveland State University. Elizabeth Majka, attending Duquesne University. Matthew Morey, attending The Ohio State University. Emma Ogg, attending Purdue University. Catherine O'Green, attending The Ohio State University. Joseph Sanek, attending Miami University. Amanda Schaefer, attending Cleveland State University. Cole Smith, attending The Ohio State University. Jamie Schnell, attending Baldwin Wallace University. Zachary Taylor, attending The Ohio State University. Evan Yang, attending The Ohio State University. Zoe Zilstra, attending the Illinois Institute of Technology. Big round of applause for our top 5%. Thank you. You may be seated. Congratulations. Dr. Ryba and members of the Strongsville City School Board of Education, it is my pleasure to present the class of 2022 for conferring diplomas. By the authority invested in my position by the State of Ohio and the Board of Education, I attest that those seated before you have completed all graduation requirements and are ready to receive their Strongsville High School diplomas. At this time, I'd like to ask Dr. Cameron Ryba to come up to say a few words.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Board of Education and all of our administrators, teachers, and staff, it is my distinct honor to celebrate you, the class of 2022. Now, it's hard to imagine, but almost 30 years ago, I was in your spot, preparing to graduate from high school and wondering about what my future may hold. To give you all a full picture of your superintendent at that time, I thought I'd share with you one of my senior pictures on the board. Maybe I'll share with you. There it is. You like that? You know, you probably can't see it by your seats, but the great thing about that picture is when I get old and can't remember where I went to high school, it says Garfield Heights all around the back of it, so I'm good. But let's look at one more, the serious pose. How many of you had the serious pose? Ooh, yeah. I know what you're thinking. Wow, this guy looks nearly the same 30 years later as he did back then. Or like my kids, maybe you're trying to be respectful and not poke a little fun at the styles of the time. That awesome silk shirt that you can't see it, but it's a silk shirt. That's awesome. Merry-go-round. Any parents remember merry-go-round back in the day? Yeah. But hey, you know, styles may come and go, but what I want to share with you this afternoon are some thoughts that I believe will stand the test of time. Over this past year, I read a handful of books from different authors detailing the skills that we need to develop as leaders and learners today so that we can find success tomorrow. Interestingly enough, three books shared this very similar theme, that whether we are young people or adults, we need to act a little bit more like scientists. At first, I thought this analogy was a little bit of a stretch, but think about it. Scientists have ideas or beliefs, they test them out, they collect results, look at what they've learned, and revise their ideas based on what the data tells them. When you think about the world today, it's amazing to consider how much data companies, apps, and social media networks are collecting on each of us. They are thinking like scientists, using countless data points on every click or swipe, noting our likes and dislikes, our views, and our interests. It's interesting that after getting back to golfing this last summer, ads and articles on improving my golf game started appearing on my social media feeds. It's curious that when I look at the suggested reading each morning in my Google feed, it's filled with articles about Cleveland sports, education, hiking trails, and where you can find the best burger. How does Google know all the things that I like to read about? This is not random, but it's an algorithm that continuously feeds me with information that aligns to my interests and views. A feed that is only sharing information that keeps me feeling confident and comfortable with how I think and see the world. However, we need to look beyond what is being filtered into our feed and experience the world through a scientific lens by letting in views and ideas that may be contrary to our own. Earlier this year, I had the opportunity to hear a keynote presentation from former Ohio State football coach and current YSU president, Jim Tressel. In his keynote, Coach Tressel shared his list of key characteristics for success, not just on the football field, but in life. His top 3 include curiosity, this unquenchable desire to never stop learning and growing; grit, having the courage and toughness to overcome setbacks in your journey; and selflessness, to care about the needs of others more than your own. Sounds like Coach Tressel also believes we need to think and act a bit more like scientists as we learn more and challenge norms with a caring and inquisitive heart. Thinking like a scientist does not mean you have to own a telescope or a microscope. It just means that you favor humility over pride and curiosity over conviction. You know what you don't know, and you're eager to discover new things. You don't let your ideas become your identity. You look for reasons why you might be wrong, not just reasons why you must be right. And you listen to ideas that make you think hard, not just the ones that make you feel good. And you surround yourself with people who can challenge your process, not just the ones who agree with your conclusion. Over the past 2.5 years, I've had no choice but to think and lead like a scientist, making the best decisions I could with the information I had at the time. And when I shared those decisions with you and your parents, I received feedback. Lots and lots and lots of feedback. But with the feedback and an openness to new ideas, even though those ideas challenged my thinking, this new information allowed me to make better decisions. I'm not saying it was easy. It took courage. Thinking and living this way takes courage. Winston Churchill famously shared, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal, but it is the courage to continue that counts." Class of 2022, have the courage to continue to learn, to continue to listen, and to continue to think for yourself. Have the courage to continue to challenge the status quo, to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and to see the power in starting with kindness. Have the courage to continue to quiet your ego and your fears so that you may realize the best versions of yourself. In a recent poem by Amanda Gorman on the challenges we are all facing in 2022, she shared the following sentiments. May this be the day we come together. Mourning we come to mend, withered we come to weather, torn we come to tend, battered we come to better. Tethered by this year of yearning, we are learning that though we weren't ready for this, we have been ready by it. We steadily vow that no matter how we are weighted down, we must always pave a way forward. This hope is our door, our portal. Even if we never get back to normal, someday we can venture beyond it to leave the known and take the first steps. So let us not return to what was normal, but reach towards what is next. Come overjoyed this day just begun, for wherever we come together, we will forever overcome. During your 13 years as a student, especially during the last 3, you have come together. You endured the uncertainty, the challenges, and the roadblocks while still rising above to overcome. As you continue in your journey, there will be ups and downs, successes and failures, and whether it be in quiet times or in chaos, find the joy in life. Find the joy in the moments, find the joy in the grind, and find the joy in being uniquely you. Graduates, I wish you the very best that life has to offer and hope you can all be the scientific thinkers and lifelong learners that we need you to be to make our present and our future a better place. Thank you. At this time, it is my privilege to introduce Board Vice President, Mrs. Laura Wolfhausen.
Thank you, Dr. Ryba. Hello, class of 2022. It is an honor for me to be here today to bring greetings and congratulations from the Strongsville School Board. As I began thinking about what I should say to you, I discovered that I could go on for hours talking about your years in Strongsville City Schools, about the experiences you've had which prepared you for this day and for the future. I began making notes about all the advice I should share with you and about all the many topics I wanted to cover. But then my husband reminded me about the fate of a famous Greek philosopher, Socrates. He lived a long, long time ago, and he was a very intelligent man. Socrates gave very long speeches. His friends ended up condemning him to death. Since I am not Socrates, nor do I want to end up like Socrates, I'm going to be brief and to the point. Today, you are graduating from Strongsville High School with your peers, some of whom you've known since grade school, and some you may have recently just met. The stadium is packed with your friends and relatives, and every person here is proud of you, of your accomplishments, and of the goals that you have reached. If each of us were to write down a definition of a successful graduate, we would quickly discover that some of the same words and phrases would be repeated over and over again. Common themes would be dedication, perseverance, integrity, honesty, conscientiousness, dependability, and hard work. From all the terms used to describe graduates, the one I think should receive top billing is winner. Each and every one of you is a winner. You have demonstrated through hard work, dependability, conscientiousness, honesty, integrity, perseverance, and dedication that you are winners. And as a winner, you have earned the right to be proud of your achievements. Your achievements go beyond what your predecessors had to endure. Pandemic learning is no easy feat. The uncertainty of online learning, not knowing when you would see your peers, friends, teachers, and staff members' faces again, has made your accomplishments so much sweeter. Your faculty, family, and friends have all made sacrifices so that you would be successful. These sacrifices have included giving you rides, vacating a room so that you could study quietly or learn on an online platform, tutoring you for a test, or just being there when you needed someone to understand. They are here to share this rewarding moment with you because they have all played a part in you becoming a winner. Seniors, please stand and join me in thanking the staff members, family members, and friends without whose support you would not have reached this milestone. As you leave here today to start the next chapter of your life journey, be it starting college, going into the military, starting trade school, or starting a family, remember how you benefited from the sacrifices others have made and the profound impact it has made on your lives, and try to pay it forward for the next generation following in your footsteps. I and the other members of the school board salute your success. You have met this challenge. Your new challenge is to continue to stretch and extend your abilities. Winners accept nothing but the best from themselves, and you are all winners. Congratulations again.
Audience, the graduates request that you refrain from applause or comments until each individual has received his or her diploma. Please refrain from standing or leaving your seat to take photos or video. On behalf of the graduates, thank you in advance for honoring their request. At this time, I would like to call upon Mrs. Orlowski, Mr. Faust, Superintendent Dr. Ryba, and the members of the Board of Education to assist in the distribution of their diplomas.
Will the graduates of 2022 in the first row please rise? Elizabeth Park Majka.
Joseph Michael Sanick.
Kristen Alexis Johnson.
Amanda K. Schaefer.
Amani Nasser Najar.
Cole Everett Smith.
Annabelle Ghassan Abdallah.
Jamie Quinn Snell.
Emily Catherine Adnich.
Zachary David Taylor.
Kate Hull Carey.
Evan Iwe Yang.
Lauren Elizabeth Dunlap.
Zoe Elizabeth Zilstra.
Laura Tice Fogwell.
Ralph G. Abdul Karim.
Philip Mark Goldberg.
Janine Mohammed Abu Amde.
Jacob William Huber.
Laith Amid Abuzaria.
Jocelyn Irene Huber.
Mohammed Amid Abuzaria. That's you.
Henry Kevin Joniak.
Joseph Robert Adams.
Zachary Adam Kakos.
Justin Michael Adams.
Alexander Joseph Claben.
Adam Niaz Ahmed.
Meredith Basella Cleansing.
Hala Fatima Ahmed.
Anya Anjana Krishnan.
Kizzer Ahmed.
Faith Danielle Lee.
Noor Fatima Ahmed.
Matthew Robert Morey.
Anastasia Alexieva.
Emma Marie Ogg.
Nael Salah Ali.
Catherine Rose O'Green.
Lana Iyad Al-Khatib.
Lena Imad Suleiman.
Jacob Michael Bias.
Erica E. Alvarenga Echeverria.
Ethan Paul Bilski.
Gwyneth Pauline Amalong.
Sarah Elizabeth Blados.
James Kekoa Apo.
Natalie Elizabeth Blaha.
Allison Elizabeth Armendariz.
Caroline Sally Blazetic.
Dima Slyman Awada.
Riley Ann Bloom.
Kenda Hassan Awada.
Rachel Suzanne Bly.
Ryan Scott Balo.
Nicole Rebecca Bodine.
Ethan Robert Banning.
Grace Marie Boach.
Douglas Charles Bearfield.
Logan Dean Bose.
Audrey Elizabeth Barno.
Ethan Wesley Boyd.
Clara Marie Berry.
Alyssa Denise Bradford.
Ashton Daniel Barilski.
Timothy Chance Breeden.
Jessica Nicole Bassnett.
Kaylee Christina Brennan.
Isaiah Tamer Bastaros.
Grace Kathleen Brudigam.
Theodore Maddox Beard.
Emily Margaret Brewer.
Alexandria Catherine Beck.
Isabel Christine Brooks.
Taylor James Bellucci.
Lauren Ann Brown.
Andrew Michael Beaton.
Connor John Bryzak.
Ethan Michael Bianco.
Nicholas Michael Buckvick.
Stephanie Ann Burdick.
Haley Renee Clayton.
Grace Ann Burdorf.
Rachel Lynn Clifford.
Paige Burgess.
Benjamin Michael Clotworthy.
Riley Paige Burkett.
Emma Helene Clotworthy.
Paul Joseph Burlinghouse.
Marin Marie Cobb.
Skyla May Burris.
Daniel Earl Coleman.
Jalen Assad Broderick Caldwell.
Natalie Marie Congeni.
Kyle Thomas Canonico.
Matthew Charles Corpus.
Christian Caprita.
Riley Lynn Croucher.
Sion Ramon Carey.
Emily Marie Croy.
Jonathan Michael Carmen.
Tyler Patrick Croy.
Lainey Allison Carroll.
Nicasio Marcial Cruz.
James Jacob Carter.
Kyler Ross Cubison.
Paris Taylor Caudill.
Kenneth William Cummings.
Irene Shengshi Chan.
Cole Jacob Cummins.
Christopher Oliver Charles.
Aiden Paul Cunningham.
Rachel Lynn Sharon.
Reese Edward DeBran.
Michael Kong Choi.
Fiona Caitlin Daddis.
Sutan Chum.
George Stephen Daddis.
Gabrielle Ann Sika.
Evelina Isabel Dagis.
Robbie Mason Dagduk.
Elizabeth Danielle Dormany.
Nicholas Patrick Dan.
Dehan J. Dragatirovic.
Elena Grace David.
Ava Elizabeth Drozdowski.
Allison Marie Davis.
Jessica Michelle Dunbrack.
Mia Jameson Davis.
Grace Janet Zupiro.
Omar Mustafa Daoud.
Jordan Colin Ida.
Aaron Elijah Deal.
J. Michael Eichmuller.
Evan Nicholas DeFlorville.
Haley Elizabeth Iser.
Fergus Kane DeLeon.
Ashley Malin Engstrom.
Jeremy Richard DeLoof.
Jordan Anna Ensign.
Haley Marie DePompey.
Jack Michael Herbs.
Cameron Robert Durkis.
Joseph Matthew Herbs.
Haley Yunha Devney.
Taylor Aaron Irwine.
Julia Yunji Devney.
Dylan Vance Eschbaugh.
Madeline Jane DeJulius.
Veronica Elise Espe.
Maya Nicole Demakia.
Evan Christian Fall.
Michael James DeSanza.
Sophia Larissa Fabrizi.
Lex Dobeck.
Vanessa Angelina Fabrizi.
Nicole Marie Dodd.
Ava Marie Falcioni.
Antonio James Donato.
Joseph James Farron.
Anthony Thomas Favaza.
Joseph William Galchick.
Jenna Christine Felice.
Louis Tristan Garcia.
Alexis Danielle Filler.
Aaron Blanco Garrity.
Davion Markel Flanagan.
Andrea Grace Gennaro.
Sydney Marie Flam.
Anthony Michael Gentili.
Wesley James Flower.
Jad Zaid Gould.
Amanda Catherine Fobel.
Avery Lenora Gillihan.
Ethan Douglas Force.
Mia Lourdes Gonzalez.
Zachary Allen Forster Myers.
Rose Helen Graham.
Madeline Renee Fortuna.
Jack Stephen Grasha.
Vivian Rose France.
Victoria Rose Growl.
Jacob Nicholas Freeman.
Ernest James Green.
Colin Jeffrey Gadd.
Gus Charles Gregory.
Carlo Alexander Guy.
Dimitri Guzina.
Ayush Abay Gaikwad.
Kendall McCrae Haberman.
Lucy Dillon Guidus.
Tamer Motassam Haddad.
Nicholas Stephen Guidus.
Naveen Nader Hamden.
Alan Andrew Harhay.
Brendan Justice Hanstein.
Nathaniel Andrew Harmison.
Thank you. Sebastian Charles Hance.
Nicholas Ryan Hartman.
John James Hamoki.
Timothy Joseph Marcus Hartman.
Brennan Francis Hominy.
Mohammed Yahya Hassan.
Kyler Allen Hook.
Raina Nabil Hassan.
Bradley Joseph Horvat.
Evan Patrick Hatfield.
Gwen Ann Horvath.
Justin Xavier Halmiser.
Paul Xavier Hospodar.
Leanne Carol Hawk.
Lauren Elizabeth Housum.
Benjamin Eric John Hawk.
Emily Catherine Hoy.
Mang He.
Hi, Fabe. William Frank Risco.
David Matthew Hendrickson.
Andrew Lawrence Hudak.
Kendra Lee Hengel.
Ashley Marie Hughes.
Nicholas Jerome Hennessy.
Sophia Morgan Halsman.
Gavin Reese Henney.
Jeffrey Allen Houston.
Julianne Marie Henry.
Nina Elizabeth Iani.
Ella Lane Hershiser.
Yasmin Jabbar.
Megan May Hodges.
Ashlyn Elizabeth Jankar.
Stevrula Ava Kadras.
Gwendolyn Nicole Johnson.
Kirsten Hope Kahn.
Allison Marie Johnston.
Bora Kalaya.
Eric Michael Jones.
Claire Elise Kansas.
Owen Luke Jones.
Kelsey Madison Capel.
Augustine Corolla Anna Klepper.
David Roger Abdul Karim.
Victoria Jean Cortina.
John Kenneth Kassler.
Nathan James Kowalski.
Luke Robert Katranak.
Aiden Strider Kraus.
Weston James Koffold.
Nathan Alexander Kravik.
Braden Riley Kennedy.
Victor Stanley Kowalski.
Michael Martin Kenny.
Ryan Thomas Krempa.
Ava May Kern.
Isabella Giselle Krenz.
Uric Charles Calipore.
Lily Catherine Cruzy.
Benjamin Price Ketterer.
Madeline Alexis Kupets.
Audrey Eleanor Kidd.
Colleen Grace Lally.
Ian James Kinney.
Kenneth Everett Lambert.
Reagan Elaine Kinney.
Lauren Marie Leneve.
Carl Alexander Kish.
Zachary Andrew Lilonis.
Isabella Grace Ligavari.
Olena Lamishka.
Michael John Lapowski.
Molly Olivia Lemmer.
Hayden Parker Litton.
Nicole Alexandra Leon.
Jacob Matthew Lloyd.
Renee Ling Lavasser.
Kayla Lynn Lusigno.
Jenny Lee.
Avery Elizabeth Locke.
Lauren Elizabeth Litsky.
Alexander Hang Lee.
Joel Marie Martinez Torres.
Jonathan Thomas Macy.
Madison Elizabeth Martinez.
Scott James McKenzie.
Cameron Daniel Matowski.
Guinevere Alexandra Mayhew.
Amelia Rose Matusik.
Thomas Eugene Mayhew.
Joshua Patrick Mayo.
Janine Saeed Mahmood.
Emmett Bernard McArdle.
Gabrielle Renee Main.
Landon Carter McCann.
Isaac Adrian Maldonado.
Megan Brooke McFadden.
Justin Alexander Malloy.
Megan Janet McLaughlin.
John David Maloney.
Taylor May McVeigh.
Chloe Elin Manson.
Delaney Carter Merkel.
Owen John Michael Mantonen.
Alyssa Felina Merrill.
Nolan Philip Markham.
Nabil Jamal Musla.
Kimberly Miranda Feliciano.
Meyer.
Kyle James Murdich.
Aubrey Nicole Miller.
Deshaun Isaiah Mitchell.
Christopher Arthur Miller.
Robert John Mitchell.
Jordan Ruby Miller.
Mary Mitrovich.
Roderick Philip Miller.
Diala Fahed Mohammed.
Alla Marie Milligan.
Ashlyn Kelly Monahan.
Genesia Alejandra Miranda.
Lauren Elizabeth Monahan.
Helen McKinley Nazario.
Sydney Amanda Moore.
Monica Lachey Nelson.
Jake Ryan Morad.
Ian Kennedy Newman.
Alex James Morales.
Caroline Grace Niederhausen.
Christopher Lewis Morielli.
Ramsey Jihad Nima.
Quinn Kavanaugh Mosley.
Luke Robert Knight.
Megan Catherine Modoleski.
Jordan Elise Novak.
Stephanie Jean Mraz.
Caitlin Elizabeth Oakes.
Giovanni Joseph Mercurio.
Leali Abraham Odatala.
Amanda Lee Mullins.
Stephen Wayne Oler.
Ahmed Ayman Musla.
Elizabeth Lourdes Fontana Ong.
Daniel Reagan Moody.
Brooke Taylor Peary.
Brianna Rose Nauman.
Alonso Marcelo Pacheco.
Kimora Amani Patterson.
Yash Paharia.
Jasmine Alexandra Perez.
Wyatt Charles Payne.
Jackson Douglas Parasuti.
Kadar A. Pandey.
Megan Marie Perkins.
Aryan Silpesh Parikh.
Bethany Elise Perrin.
Gavin Matthew Pate.
Colin James Peters.
Ria Amit Patel.
Jacob Daniel Petkov.
Nicholas Matthew Patton.
Karina Fagu.
Alexandria Lee Poyle.
Matthew Wynn Fawn.
Jewel Rianne Pratt.
Saray Solade Faye.
Joseph Anthony
Tinotenda Quincy Phillips.
Noah Baird Reagan.
Elizabeth Lynn Pichoviak.
Pete Nicholas Rojas.
Jordan Taylor Piscotch.
Jude Mitchell Rawl.
Anthony William Pittio.
Deasia Mornay Randolph.
Brandon Nicholas Plasek.
Dwayne M. Randolph.
Josiah Anthony Pleasant.
Brooke Summer Rosano.
Nicole Juliette Polanski.
Thomas Joseph Radella.
Andrew Timothy Polensky.
Edward David Reed.
Anthony Stephen Polifrone.
Jonathan Tyler Reese.
Jacob Daniel Polomsky.
Dylan James Reed.
Naomi Lee Rohrbach.
Brendan Christopher Reinhardt.
Alicia Brooke Rolland.
Kayla Marie Reinhardt.
Ryan Hunter Rudolph.
Frederick Stanley Shagong Wren.
Jillian Alana Reimer.
Dean Albert Riggy.
Amelia Rachel Sage.
Zachary Joel Rhinus.
Miriam Imad Saleh.
Luke Andrew Rodak.
Sean S. Salehi.
Alexander Michael Segi.
Fayez Musa Salty.
Kyla Nicole Seaman.
Jada Erilyn Samoilage.
Elizabeth Autumn Serena.
Colin Daniel Saska.
Shaf Sheikh.
Kira Jo Nicole Savage.
Rupika Shri Shankar.
Heather Gail Sable.
Daniel James Sharp.
Angelo Jesse Sayer.
Daniel Milo Shaver.
Avery Nicole Shea.
Liam Patrick Shea.
Hannah Nicole Schifferly.
Mackenzie Ford Sharilla.
Samuel Allen Schofield.
Nicole Lynn Sidlowski.
Jolia Louise Schreibman.
Dominic Ronald Sidoti.
Kendall Joan Schulte.
Theodore Clarence Sedlecki.
Elliot Camille Scullin.
Ryan John Silvis.
Samir Melvin Seeley.
Christian John Slokar.
Kevin James Subchinski.
Caleb Matthew Smith.
Louisa Mile Sue.
Kieran Patrick Smith.
Gabriella Grace Spahar.
Catherine Faye Smith.
Libby Ann Spencer.
Edward Aaron Snyder.
Preston Donald Stallard.
Kayla Morgan Snyder.
Ashley Catherine Steinberger.
Pedro Tabuenca Mendato Rigotia.
Raleigh Joseph Stevens.
Naisha Tariq.
Emma Stevanovic.
Trent Nicholas Fall.
Joshua Parker Stevens.
Caitlin Grace Thomas.
Juliana Marie Streisel.
Matthew Sebastian Tinorello.
Chelsea Marie Strickland.
Luke William Tisdale.
Ethan Robert Strauss.
Violetta Beata Tkachenko.
Iris Aurora Straup.
Ivailo Todorov.
Michaela Marie Strizala.
Shelby Jayon Topor.
Ryan Paul Sutz.
Madeline Louise Tarosky.
Layla Marie Yasmin Syed.
Brielle Rose Toe.
Zain Muhammad Syed.
Vanessa Tran.
Madeline Nicole Zabo.
Trinity Noel Turan.
Mitchell Christopher Simchak.
Landon Michael Turner.
Kenneth Larson Van Dyne.
Nicholas Joseph Turner.
Seth Donald Van Hove.
Megan Michelle Uline.
Jack Christopher Bargo.
Samantha Marie Baca.
Joshua Patrick Venisel.
Alexandria Nicole Van Kucha.
Michael Alexander Ventura.
Jade Marie White.
Jason Michael Volan.
Haley Paige Widger.
Daniel Curtis Waite.
Emily Susan Williams.
Madeline Sky Walcher.
Shayla Angela Willis.
Faith Neve Walsh.
Deborah Lydia Wilson.
Alexa Marie Warmoth.
Joseph Preston Wilson.
Jalen Austin Watt.
Cassandra Lee Windall.
Jacob Patrick Weber.
Sydney Marie Wingler.
Brandon Allen Way.
Lydia Danielle Wokel.
John Charles Wendenhoff.
Logan Christopher Wolters.
May Zella Werschler.
Natalie Marie Worley.
Sydney Cameron West.
Megan Evelyn Yankee.
Connor Jake White.
John Castle Yarwood.
Morgan Ray Ziegler.
Dania Yassine.
Kayla Nicole Zemnick.
Michael Jonathan Yevtushenko.
Connor Andrew Zitnar.
Cameron Justice Young. Elizabeth Rose Zacharias. Grace Elena Zarzor. Mary Ellen Sue Zacha. And last but not least, Brooke Marie Zellers.
As we're waiting for the graduates to get their picture, I'd like to give a quick thank you to the number of people that make today happen. Mr. Simek and his maintenance crew who were here at 4 in the morning this morning working hard. Thank you, gentlemen. To all of our teachers and staff who are here today and have done an amazing job preparing these graduates for the future, thank you. And probably most importantly, a thank you to all of the parents and guardians that over the last 13 years have dropped off at school and driven to sporting events and taken private lessons for whatever it is. And I know if you guys are like me that we've invested 1 million hours in the last 13 years. In many ways, you are graduating with your children, so please give yourselves a round of applause. And as we get to the last couple pictures, I just want to give a special thank you or just to this class. When you ever hear someone say that kids are not resilient, or as I kind of joke about my dad being I said this joke at a few other ceremonies this month, but someone who's removed from teenagers who says how doomed the future is because kids are this and kids are that, and everybody has that in their family, the get off my lawn guy. I always have these conversations with people that there's so many amazing things going on at this high school that you don't even know about. We tend to see what's on social media, what's on the news, but the truth is, if you walk through Strongsville High School, there are 540 amazing seniors that have done things that when we were that age, we could only dream about. So rest assured that when they leave Strongsville High School, that they will be prepared for the future. So at this time, I'd like to welcome our senior class president, Miss Amani Najar.
Hi, everyone. When I first wrote this speech, it started off with the most generic line I could possibly think of. Something like, today, the day of commencement, marks the end of a long journey, but something bigger, better, and brighter. Today is the day about celebrating us as graduates, so I don't want to stand here and bore you guys with the cliche lines about conquering life, but what is graduation without it? I personally think commencement and that piece of paper we are all walking out of this stadium with today represent a lot more than just the future ahead of us. I know I'm not alone when I say I haven't had the most perfect academic and athletic career. So for me, it represents the village I'm surrounded by that has helped me hold my values close and maintain that sense of curiosity that has gotten me to this point today. High school is nothing like any of us could have ever imagined. So walking through those doors for the first time and hearing that first bell ring at 7:15 a.m., none of us could have ever guessed what the next 4 years had in store for us. We walked into high school on that first day intimidated by all the unfamiliar faces, and we walk out with unforgettable friendships that will last a lifetime. So when we leave here today, each in the pursuit towards what will hopefully be our very unique and bright futures, remember the roots and hardships you've already encountered, the barriers you have overcome, and all those admirable successes you have accomplished. These will steady you during trying times, which I naively hope you will have to endure, but it will light the way towards your futures. I have met countless amazing people in these past 4 years, some of which have taught me the most valuable life lessons I still carry with me to this day. They challenged me, so now I would like to challenge all of you to spend less time hoping and wishing for the day to come and instead make that day happen. No one will be in your way and no one will be able to stop you. Maybe even consider helping your neighbors along the way. It won't slow you down too much. Take a moment to appreciate or at least acknowledge your surroundings, and seriously, do not spend your time chasing a goal if you're going to forget to reflect on the steps that brought you there. I hope you all choose a career path that won't have you longing for the weekend the way school did, and I hope you chase life with the same passion and excitement that you do small moments that bring you joy. A famous American novelist, whose name some of you might recognize from your English classes, Scott Fitzgerald, basically put it in words for me when he said, "It's never too late to be whoever you want to be. There's no time limit. Start whenever you want. You can change or stay the same. There are no rules to this thing. We can make the best or the worst of it. I hope you make the best of it. I hope you see things that startle you. I hope you feel things you've never felt before. I hope you meet people who have a different point of view, and I hope you live a life you're proud of. If not, I hope you find the courage to start all over again." Take this advice as you all venture into the next era of your lives, because we are all on different journeys and most of them will not be a straight line on a clear path. Whether or not you see it now, life is a precious thing. So remember to say, "I love you," and sincerely and often. Make good choices, take care of each other, and stay safe when you walk through those grand doors into the real world. Most importantly, I strongly encourage you to take care of our global community and do your part by educating yourselves. When I was granted the honor to speak on the stage, I knew I wanted to use the platform I was given to raise awareness. I know I can only briefly touch on this because if I were to list everything, we'd be here until sundown, and I do not think these stadium lights will be turning on for us tonight. I essentially want to say that there is more happening in the world around us, and simply being aware makes all the difference. Strongsville is a well-accomplished school district, and our class undoubtedly plays a generous role in that. From our student athletes that dedicated blood, sweat, tears, and hours of hard work on the field, to the theater and performance artists that poured their hearts out on stage, our class was a force to be reckoned with. Our community can be compared to that of a small town trapped inside of a snow globe, so while being an active member of our community is crucial, it's equally important to break the glass and explore the world outside of it. Whether it is keeping up with the Summer Olympics, or the status of the NASA rover landing on Mars, or even the horrible effects of climate change disproportionately impacting marginalized populations. For example, over half of the hurricanes in the United States last year were documented as Category 3 or above, which are classified as major hurricanes that took the lives of many and left the rest without food, power, and even shelter. We as people are the root of climate change, which also makes us responsible for the historic heat waves in the West, the winter storms in Texas, deadly tornadoes in Kentucky, and the devastating wildfires in California, just to name a few. The stories you hear in the news don't just vanish into thin air when they stop being brought to light, and current events in the modern world are of equal significance to the history they teach us in school. Therefore, we must take matters into our own hands and educate ourselves on the injustices around the world, such as the crisis in Lebanon, the war in Palestine, ongoing almost 60 years, Asian hate in America, war in Ukraine, Uyghur Muslim genocide in China, the 27 school shootings that have happened in only 2022 alone, the horrible conditions and rising incarceration rates in the United States legal system, drug-related deaths reaching an all-time record high, significant barriers to accessing adequate health services especially for women, those with disabilities, and the LGBTQ+ community, prevalent racial injustices in housing, employment, education, wealth accumulation, and the list unfortunately goes on. Continue to be proactive and take charge. Express your rights as citizens and vote on relevant issues both locally and nationally. Push for social and economic change. Donate if you can and whenever you can. Volunteer your time, live a sustainable life, and reduce your carbon footprint because every small change makes the difference. We hold the fate of this world in the palm of our hands, and while we are all different individuals on different expeditions, the diversity of our ideas, ideals, and identities make us one. Class of 2022, approaching this next chapter of our lives, I hope you take all the cards you have been dealt, good and bad, and turn them into a royal flush. Now please join me in the moment we have all been waiting for. But I would first like to call up my class officers, Jillian Reimer and Claire Kansas, to join me in the turning of the tassel. Okay. Can the class of 2022 please stand? And now, move the tassel from right side over to the left. Congratulations, class of 2022.